Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta. Last episode, we had just freed Sid from underneath the catapult, and now we have a submarine. Yeah, Sid found some book that allowed him to turn our airship into a submarine. So now we can go underwater, and we're going to head to the third tablet dungeon. So it's guarded by the flames under the water, so it's like an undersea volcano. So, one of the good things about, well, this is a bad dungeon because there's a lot of lava trap tiles, but all the enemies in it are undead, so we're going to get a lot of uses out of our Requiem spell. So I'll give everybody the sing command, so that we can just sing all our enemies to their defeat, including the boss. So, let's heal up, and then head on out to the Great Trench. As always, we got some gargoyles to fight. And these guys don't really cooperate too much here. So, but we'll take them out. We're getting kind of good at it. We just want to try to get them down to, you have 5,000 hit points, so we want to get them, defeat them both at the same time. So get one down to roughly, close to where one hit will finish it, and same for the other one. And then before the one revives the other one, finish it off. So, Faris, she's been missing a lot. The Excalibur is good for this area too, because it's Holy Elemental, and all the undead monsters are going to be weak to Holy. So, but unfortunately the monsters tend to come in big groups, so for the most part it's easier just to use the Requiem song on them, because you're able to take out large groups. So, damn, Mage ain't doing too much damage. We saw that back in back when we were fighting the Omniscient, the leader of the Fort Tower. I took off the Excalibur because I realized these guys actually absorb Holy, so Holy won't work on them. So, kept the Defender, switched it out to the Defender sword. So. One is in a place deeper than the floor of the sea, protected by flame. This is a really annoying dungeon because we don't have the float magic or a geomancer, so we're going to take a lot of damage from the lava tiles. And if you, unlike Final Fantasy 1, where you wouldn't get into encounters when you're in a damage tile, in this game you can get into encounters and damage tiles, so you gotta be constantly using up your potions and keeping yourself kind of close to full hit points, so that in case you get ambushed by an enemy while you're in the lava tiles, it's not a game over. So, luckily we do have a save point in this dungeon, so we actually have two. So I guess they realized that it's a tricky dungeon, so they give us 2 save points, one at the beginning and then one near the end, close to the boss. So these first few floors, we're not going to see the lava, but then we're going to get way too much lava. So all the enemies are there's 5 new enemies in this area, and they're all called unknowns. There's 4 different sprites though. One has like a shared sprite, so I just call them by this unknown looks like a blob. So I call it the Blob Unknown. Then we're going to get one that looks like a skeleton, one that looks like a snake, and then there are 2 that look like flowers. And they differ in the fact that one of them tries to use the spell. Their steel differs, but we can't tell because we don't have a steel command. And the one comes in groups of 3, and they try to use a delta attack. But they never can use it because they don't have enough MP for it. So it's kind of pointless, but... we can get a water scroll. We don't have a ninja to throw it though, so... yeah, not going to use it. We'll sell it for some money. We're going to need a lot of money later on. Got our little save point here. I guess they gave us 2 save points, one at the beginning, because like I said, this is full of a lot of these damage tiles, and there's quite a few traps. But actually, in one instance, the trap can actually help us out. So, back like the to Joe Cole Cave. We want to hit these buttons to make the pathways appear. And then we have the first flower type enemy in the back. Like I said, if they appear in groups of 3, they're a second type of unknown. They like to try to use that delta attack. And I think those ones you can get, you can steal a decent whip from them, but if you have a thief. But we don't have that ability, so we'll just sing them all to death. So I could put all my characters in the back row, but I forgot to do that. Because Requiem, the song, is not affected by the row. I didn't hit that switch because if you hit that switch, that little bridge there is removed. So I'll do it on the way out, just to show you what happens. Now this room, there's a whole bunch of these switches. You don't want to hit any of them, except for the one over here to the upper right, because hitting them will open a hole at our feet and it'll drop us down to the floor below, and most of the drops end up in a pit of lava, and we don't want to obviously fall into lava because lava hurts. Although we will take a shortcut by falling in one of the pits though. But before we take that shortcut, we want to hit this button over here to the upper right, because that'll make a land bridge appear, and that land bridge will allow us to get an item. So up here there used to be that land bridge wasn't there, but we hit that button that makes it appear, and we can get a flame ring, I believe, here. Yep, there we go. Now we're going to purposely hit this button here, because that drops us down to the floor below, and it doesn't drop us into one of these lava pits. Most of the other buttons drop us into one of those lava pits. If we took the regular way down, and we'll have to take that on our way out, you have to walk through some lava, so we just want to skip walking in some lava. We'll be walking in enough lava later on, so... So some of these enemies can be really annoying. And one of the good things about the Requiem song is the enemies don't count if you hit some of them with physical attacks. They use this possess spell that basically removes your character from combat. So they're just like teleported away from the combat. So we won't get any experience, any job points. So, but luckily they never counter with when you're using the Requiem song. So it's easy living that way. Had to tell Daddy to go rescue my sister. She was she was laying under a blanket, and the dog tried to lay on it. He got spooked, and that's why he growled there. He was not aware that his sister Guinevere was there. Alright, so here we're gonna be taking a nice lava bath. We want to be careful. I think it's 50 hit points every time we take a step, so you'll see that hit points drain really, really quickly. We're not going to be using all of our high potions, including and a lot of our magic as well. So you can see everybody's down to 1 hit point. Luckily, you can't be defeated by walking. You know, if you have 1 hit point, you take another step, you won't lose any more hit points. But you always run the risk of running into an encounter. And of course, you run into an encounter, and they can wipe you out. You're at so slow health. So, not good. Now, one way you can get around this thing is if you have a blue mage and they had the big guard spell, you can get into a battle, have them cast the big guard spell, that'll give you the float status. If you have a white mage, you can use the float spell that is part of white magic. If you have a tamer, there are some enemies that you can catch and then release and control them and have them cast float on you. Or if you're a geomancer, they have a built-in ability to avoid damage traps. It's like the one with the earth. So, but that's not in any of our cases here. Next Fiesta, though, I'll have both the white mage and a geomancer, so I'll have plenty of ways to avoid these damage tiles. So here we get to this dwarf kingdom. It's a small dwarf kingdom. Kingdom of only 5 dwarves, but we were told about them maybe in Crescent. They might exist, well, they do exist, so they have some good weapons and armor, but nothing that we could use. because, you know, we're really limited on the weapons that we can use because we're only using, you know, 4 classes, so all the weapons that we need we'll end up getting just from, you know, treasure chests, so. If you approach him from the bottom or the top, he sells armor. If you approach him from the left and the right, he ends up selling weapons. So, we get this route. Unfortunately, there's not an inn here, which would be nice, you know, to heal yourself up. We can use a cabin there, so. Lolly-ho. We only have 5 people, but this is still a splendid dwarf kingdom, Lolly. So here's dwarfs 4 and 5. Or 3 and 4. Lolly-ho. Have you heard of the magic lamp? If you return to its original place, the lamp's power will revive. Lolly-ho. Lollipoo's digging a tunnel, Lolly. He's gonna go all the way around the world. We'll learn about going all the way around the world when we talk with him. And he's gonna point us in an interesting, another clue to that Mirage town. Remember the folks were saying, in Crescent, they were saying that, hey, there's a town that appears in the forest to the west. Well, there's a bunch of forests to the west. This is going to actually show us the exact pinpoint of the forest that we have to go to get to that Mirage town. I've dug all this way, but I keep hearing strange sounds above. Isn't there a forest above here? And they show us the world map. And they show us where that cross is. That's the forest we want to go to. So when we get out of this and finish this dungeon, next episode we'll go back to that forest and investigate. See if we can find that mysterious town that people are saying is around. So we got a lot of lava walking to do up ahead, so it's a good idea to make a save here. I did, and it saved me because, no pun intended, because I ended up getting into a battle and the enemies wiped me out because I got into a battle and I had really low hit points. So this way, if you do get in something happens like that to you, you can just restart from right here. Remember, I showed you in that one episode, if you get a game over, you just restart back at your last save point. So this floor is kind of a little puzzle. You can see the exit that we need to go to. It's straight ahead here by this chest. But if you open that chest, the stairway disappears. So what you have to do is you have to go around walking through all this lava, and you have to hit 4 switches. And once you hit all 4 of those switches, then that prevents that trap from activating and dropping you back into the lava. So, but we're gonna get our full of lava walking through here. End up using most of our potions, a lot of our magic points. Even use I think I end up using all our regular potions too. The 99 ones, so. Yeah, I just kept them around because it basically saves like 20 high potions. Well, let's see, if they do 50, a high potion does 100, so 10. So yeah, it saves like 10 high potions. But, allows us to get a little bit more. You see how quickly our hit points drain just walking in this lava. So, good thing we have like some white magic at least. You can always, if you want to, just take off the Requiem, the singing ability from one of your other characters, Faris or Cara, and just give them the red magic ability so they can use their magic points. But I just figure I'm going to end up buying a whole bunch of potions anyway again, so yeah, I didn't bother to do that. There's another treasure chest here. It's a good accessory for a monk. It increases their damage that they do with their bare hands, but we're going to be buying some really good accessories in that Mirage town. So, and we don't have a monk to use, so we hit this last switch, and it opens that door over there to the left. And then we can grab that last treasure before we head in to fight the boss. Like I said, the boss is also undead, just like all the enemies that we've encountered here. We didn't encounter the one unknown, but we'll get him on the way back. So, I'm going to use ether here, or 2 to get some more magic points up, because we're running low on high potions. There we go, head on in here, we get this Kaizo Knuckle. It's, like I said, only used on monks. It helps to increase their I think it gives them like plus 50 to their bare fist attack, so. monks usually their attack is based on their level. So the higher level they are, the more damage they do because their level factors into their damage. So we hit all those switches, so now if we hit this treasure chest, the door will open and the stairway won't disappear. And we can head on to where the third tablet is. And another boss monster. We'll move everybody to the back row. This is a 3-part monster. And they're like the gargoyles, and if you don't defeat, if you leave any of them alive, they'll revive the other ones. So you kind of have to defeat them all at the same time. So it's like the 3 little piggies. They were told by XS to basically stop us. So we have Triton there, the red one, and Nereid, the blue one, both in the back row. They are both named after moons of Neptune, and Phobos is named after moon of Mars. It's one of Mars's moons. So yeah, these guys are all named after moons. Luckily they're all undead and they all take pretty much the same amount of damage from the Requiem. So as long as we're singing, they all have the same amount of hit points. So as long as we're singing, we'll be able to defeat them all at the same time. We do sometimes, like I said, they use a pretty tough multi-hit spell here. With the ice shields that we have on Faris and Cara. Definitely reduce the damage from the fire spell, and they also got them hit points and gave them hit points back when they were hit by a snowstorm. So they're not too far away from being defeated. So I'm just gonna go full offense here, rather than worry about healing myself up here. And sadly, Faris is blind, so she can't sing anymore. But she can still defend, so... That was nice to hit Cara, because Cara absorbs ice, thanks to that ice shield. So we just keep singing, and they should be almost done. Being in the back row helps us stave off those physical attacks. And with that, we've defeated all of them. Like I said, if you defeat one at a time, the other ones will revive the one who was defeated, so... They take after the gargoyles. And we get the third tablet, and we also get something else. The ultimate dimension magic, Meteo. It's like the ultimate magic in Final Fantasy IV. And it wasn't a magic in that your character can use in 7, but it was like what the big bad of that game wanted. He wanted to crash a meteor onto the planet. So that was his big goal. So I guess in that sense it was like the ultimate magic. But we couldn't get to use it. In that game, the ultimate magic for your party was Ultima. And that's also the ultimate magic in Final Fantasy VI. Also the best magic for stat junctioning in Final Fantasy VIII. And that's, like I said, as far as my daddy played with Final Fantasies. He got up to 8 and that was it. He never had they started coming out for the PlayStation and Daddy never had a PlayStation. So he played 7 and 8 because they came out for the personal computer, the PC. So he was able to get copies of them, but all the other ones are all on PlayStation. They just released 16, but Daddy likes these old school games that are like pixel based and kind of overhead view. They're relaxing. Now like the newer ones are more like actiony. The new one that just came out, Final Fantasy 16, people say it's like an action game. It's not like turn-based like how this one is. You have one enemy on one side of the screen, your character's on the other, and they take turns, whacking each other, casting spells at each other. It's all taking place in real time, so... Well, I'm a rat, and I don't have good eyesight, so I couldn't probably follow all that crazy stuff going on screen, so I agree with Daddy that these old games that are nice and slow-paced, yeah, they're the way to go. So remember we fell down to get this here, to this place when we were coming around. It allowed us to skip this little walk through lava here. But now we're gonna have to walk through lava to get the other way. So still keep healing ourselves up. Ooh. What a deadly dungeon. This dungeon would be worse than the pyramid one, but the pyramid has so many more random encounters, so many of those unrunnable encounters with like the enemies just pop up and a bunch of trap tiles, hidden doors. At least this dungeon's short, so. And the bad thing about it, the lava tiles can be kind of avoided with different classes. So we finally got the last unknown enemy there, the little snake enemy there at the bottom. Makes you off pretty easily. The Requiem song. The bards are pretty overpowered. I guess they wanted to make up for them in, they were, the only bard you had in Final Fantasy IV, Edward, wasn't all that good. He wasn't with your party all that long, but he wasn't. The only thing good with him was he had his harps can equip like a lot of status ailments. So yeah, see if we would have pushed that button, that bridge would have disappeared and we'd have to take a long way around and get into more encounters. We don't like that, so we got another save point there, but we're so close to our sub. And then we leave for the sub, so we get to take a nap in our sub and heal ourselves up. And as soon as you get into the sub, we want to surface and get away from this hot lava and head to that forest that we saw that the dwarfs were showing us. So almost there. Oh, that water looks so refreshing and cool. You know, you can just get rid of all sing commands, put different things on them. Double grip is good for doing extra damage. There we go. Pull our other characters up to the front now. Cara and Faris up to the front. Because they won't be singing anymore. Oh, there we go. She don't have much of any of the abilities. Yeah, since she's been focusing so much on Red Mage, she hasn't learned all the other abilities that the other characters have. So yeah, she'll just keep with the singing. It's a pretty good ability. So singing can be really good to have with on our samurai, because the samurai has the Mazmune, and the Mazmune guarantees that the samurai goes first. So the samurai can go first and cause like a charm spell. Love spell to freeze down the enemies if they're vulnerable to it. So we're going to surface our sub, take off into the air, and since we're really close to a crescent in that forest, we're just going to head right there. So there's that forest. So all I have to do is land there and start exploring that forest, which we will do in our next episode. Take care. Thanks for following along. Have a good day. Bye.